is Rahmadila Manautani. In this presentation, I will explain about language and gender. Language and gender studies deal with sexist language. Sexist language is the representation of men and women unequally, as if members of one sex were less completely human and have fewer rights than members of the other sex. Sexist language also uses stereotypes of women and men, but more often the disadvantages of women. So it's kind of discrimination against women and in language. One of the ways in which the communicative behavior of men and women differ is in their use of minimal responses, i.e. paralinguistic features such as me and yeah, which is behavior associated with collaborative language use. Men, on the other hand, generally use them less frequently, and where they do, it is usually to show agreement. While this may be true in some contexts and situations, studies that de-emphasize the communicative behavior of men and women may run the risk of being overgeneralized. For example, a minimal response appears across the flow of the conversation, such as or yes, not only serves to display active listening and interest, and is not necessarily is a sign of support word. Men and women differ in their use of questions in conversation. For men, a question is usually a genuine request for information, whereas with women it can often be a rhetorical means of engaging the other's conversational contribution or of acquiring attention from others conversationally involved. Techniques associated with a collaborative approach to language use. Therefore, women use questions more frequently. In writing, however, both genders use rhetorical questions as literary devices. Female linguistic behavior characteristically encompasses a desire to take turns in conversation with others, which is opposed to men's tendency towards centering on their own, pointing and remaining silent when presented with such implicit offers of conversation. Males tend to change subject more frequently than females. This difference may well be at the root of the conception that women chatter and talk too much, and may still trigger the same thinking in some males. In this way, lowered estimation of women may arise. Incidentally, this androcentric attitude towards women as chatterers arguably arose from the idea that any female conversation was too much talking, according to the patriarchal consideration of silence as womanly virtue common to many cultures. Goodwin 1990 observes that girls and women link their adherence to previous speakers and develop each other topics, rather than introducing new topic. However, a study of young American couples and their interactions revealed that while women raise twice as many topics as men, but it is the men's topics that are usually taken up and subsequently elaborated in the conversation. Female tendencies toward self-discourse, i.e. sharing their problems and experiences with others, often to offer sympathy, contrast with male tendencies to non-self-discourse and professing advice or offering a solution when confronted with another problems. Men tend to be more verbally aggressive in conversing, frequently using threats, profanities, yelling and name-calling. Women on the whole begin to disrupt the flow of the conversation, not as a means of upholding one's hierarchical status in the conversation. Where women swear, it is usually to demonstrate to others what normal behavior is for them. However, the correlation between males and verbal aggression aggression may not apply across different societies and cultures. It appears that women attach more weight than men to the importance of listening in conversation, with its connotation of power to the listeners that us as confident of the speaker. This attachment of import by women to listening is inferred by women's normally lower rates of interruption, i.e., disruption the flow of conversation with a topic unrelated to the previous one, and by their largely increased use of minimal responses in relation to men. Men, however, interrupt far more frequently with non-related topics, especially in the mixed-sex setting, and far from rendering a female speaker's responses minimal, are apt to greet her conversational spotlight with silence. Dominance versus subjections suggests a dichotomy between a male desire for conversational dominance. According to Jennifer Coates, that males are afforded more attention in the context of the classroom, and that this can lead to their gaining more attention in scientific and technical subjects, which in turn can lead to their achieving better success in those areas, ultimately leading to their having more power in technocratic society. Women's language is characterized by formal and reference politeness, whereas men's language is exemplified by camaraderie. Politeness in speech is described in terms of positive and negative phase. Positive phase refers to one's desire to be liked and admired, while negative phase refers to one's wish to remain autonomous and not to suffer imposition. However, negative phase politeness can be potentially viewed as weak language because of its associated hedge and take questions.